Hi, my name is Virgil Purcell. I'm here to teach you how to play Skate, Trick, Hazard. Now, for every player who's going to be playing, you're going to grab your skateboard, player piece, and put it on the front finish line. Here, you're also going to grab a dice and one player card. Now, this trick card will have a number on it that will come into play right now. On your first turn, you're going to roll the die and determine who goes first. Highest, if you rolled a 6 in this case, will mean you'll go first. On your turn, you have two options for movement. You can burn the card you have in your hand and move up to that many spaces. So in this case, 2. Or I can move 1 space if I wanted to. It's up to that number. Or my other option is to roll the die and see where I land that way. I want to hold on to this card, so I'm going to roll the die and see where we go. I move 1 space. Now, on this example here, I don't have a space. This is a blank space that I landed on. On these blank spaces, I draw a card. And then we go to the next player. Play proceeds clockwise for the first player. Since I'm playing this solo, I will go ahead and do my next turn. I'm going to roll the die here. Looks like I rolled a 5 here, so I will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, and I've landed on a hazard location. Now, hazard locations require that I either do 2 things. I play a card that has this hazard symbol for my hand. In this case, I don't have that. Or I discard a card to move on without a penalty. So in this case, I'm going to discard this 6 here. And then it goes back around to people's turns. I will go ahead and roll the die. I'm going to roll a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, I landed on a 2x trick spot. Now, at these tricks locations, you can play cards and attempt to score them with your die. So in this case, I need to have equal or better than this 2. So I'm going to roll this die. This card came from my hand. And it looks like I rolled a 3, and I will score that card. At the very end, we will check and see who has the most points on their score pile. Now, since this is a 2x space, I'm going to flip this card over upside down in my score pile. That means when I check this later, I'm going to recognize that this face down card is worth double the points. So this is going to be worth 4 points at the end of the game. The game will end once I go and make 2 laps. It will end on that final space that I land on as I cross the finish line. But we have one more space that I have not talked about, and that's the regular trick spot. So I rolled a 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I ran into this hazard space. Now I don't have any cards in my hand, so I'm forced to do what's called a double down. It's where I draw 2 cards here. I don't have any hazard cards to play, and I don't have any cards to discard. So I will draw 2 cards from the deck, and I will need to roll 2 dice and roll higher or equal to the numbers. So this is a 5 and a 4. So I need to beat a 9. A 9, I need to roll a 9, 10, 11, or 12. In this case, I rolled a 7, so I didn't quite make it. These cards are discarded. And I have a penalty. On this next turn of mine, I will roll dice to move, but I will not be able to activate any of the spaces. So it means I won't be able to draw a card or perform any tricks. So I'll go ahead and do that. Roll a dice. If I had a card here, I could play that as well. But I rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I landed on a trick space. Now ordinarily, if I had a trick card in my hand, I might try and roll and see if I can score it. It works well. In this location, I'm not able to activate because of that penalty, so I will roll the die and see where we land. It looks like I rolled onto another hazard space here. In this case, I can try to double down again, as I do not have a card. So let's see what we get. We have 2 2s. That's lucky for me. I'm going to roll 2 die. I just need to beat a 4. There we go. 9 easily beats it. So, in this case, these 2 2s are set aside and my score pile face up. Alright, I will continue on my turn. So sometimes the double down is a nice way to get points. The math is always going to be somewhat against you, as there are no 1s in the deck. But those risks can sometimes get you nice rewards. Alright, I'm going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I landed the 2x space again. Now, at the space, this is sort of like the big premier space to perform tricks. So if you land here, you can't ignore it. So in this case, I'm going to need to double down, as I do have no cards to play. Alright, 2 cards. Let's see what I get. A 6 and a 4. That's going to be fairly difficult. The numbers on the cards, by the way, are from 2 to 6. With the 2s and the 6s slightly more rare. And that's exactly what I need with the 10. So at the 2x spot, these 2 cards are going to be put face down. That's going to be 10 points, so 20 points at the end of the game. That's fairly nice. And I will continue on without a penalty. So at this point, I'm going to roll my dice. We'll see where we head up. Looks like I rolled a 2 at a trick spot. I don't have any cards, so I'm just going to draw a card here. Looks like I draw the 6. Alright. With a 6 in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and roll and see if maybe, let's see, maybe I could roll a 6 and land on that trick spot. But this might be the end of my run. Let's see. Looks like I roll a 1, so I'll draw a card. And once you go past this final lap, wherever you land up, if you activate a space, then you can try to attempt that last activation, that one last hurrah. So I have a choice here. I can roll the dice. If I roll 3, that will be the end of my run. If I burn a card and move to this last trick space, I can try to beat a 5. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to burn this card, the 6th card, since it's a hard card to reach, and I will move up to 6 spaces. In this case, I'll move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As my last hurrah, I will try to perform this 5 trick. And that's a 2. So wasn't able to perform the trick. The card would go back in my hand. But as I've made 2 laps, that will be the end of my run. I hope you enjoy. Alright, let's look at our final points. For the face cup cards, I have a total of 10 points, 2 2s and a 6. And I will reveal the face down cards. These will be worth double. So we have, in this case, 12 points, a 6, a 4, and a 2. Doubled up, that's going to be 24 points. We add these two. If you add these 2 up, you will have a total of 34 points. I hope you enjoyed learning how to play Skate, Trick, and Hazard. It should be a lot of fun, especially with more people, as people roll dice and try to compete and take risks. You have a wonderful day.